Hey, welcome to Squarebody Stuff. I'm Chad. We've got Cream Puff in the shop right now working on the windshield wipers. They've gotten kind of stupid on me. It's been a while back. I let my boys borrow them and it came back with a few little issues. Some of them, most of them not their fault because it's a 41-year-old truck. But there are some other issues that they caused that I'm slowly working through. But he is my daily driver. I do have my, you can see my Duramax out there. But I pretty much just keep her in the shop, use her for long hauls. Trying to keep some miles off of that truck. I don't mind putting miles on this truck or my other trucks, my other square bodies. So anyways, back to the wipers. That's what we're going to be working on today. So I'm going to show you what's going on with them. And then I'll try to diagnose it. I probably won't just like videotape every little step of it just to save you the grief of watching me sit there, scratch my head and wonder what's going on. So, and also I'm using my new camera phone, trying it out instead of using the GoPros all the time. Actually, this is probably a better quality video than the GoPro because I can switch back and forth as I'm videoing, and it's got a lot of neat features. But I'm having, my camera is right there, and if I look at it, if I'm looking over here, that's why I'm looking at me talking to you, and I look like I'm staring off into space, so I'm trying to learn how to look at that. Anyways, enough of that. Let me show you what's going on with the windshield wipers on Cream Puff here. Now, he is equipped with the optional intermittent wipers. So this is the main issue, which I guess it could be worse issues that could not work at all, but right now they just don't shut off. They'll go to high and low, but no intermittent and no off. So I'm gonna try to diagnose that. I'm speculating that it might be the intermittent wiper module, which is underneath this panel in behind the ductwork mounted to the steering column. Let me turn them off. That's getting annoying. Sorry, I have my fingers in front of the camera. Still trying to figure this out. Bear with me. But I've got some extra wiper motors that I can try to make sure I don't have a bad motor or something like that. So I'm going to do some diagnosing, and I'll be back and kind of let you guys fill you in on what I find out, and we'll just go from there. We'll kind of play it that way. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is take these screws out here. This screw is just a mounting screw for your ductwork. There's a screw here, here, and here. There's 4 screws up here, 2 screws down here, and this screw in the middle. Like I said before, that one's for to mount your ductwork. You got to take those screws out. Of course, this panel will come out too to get access to the intermittent wiper module that's behind there. I don't remember right off the top of my head which design this has got. They had the earlier design, I think, and then a later design. I do have a spare later design. I don't know if it works or not. I just pulled it out of a spare truck I had out in the salvage yard. I'm going to try it out, see if that helps. I have had issues in the past with other ones where the wipers just worked really weird, and it ended up just being that wiper module. The issue I'm having right now, it may be the switch, but I think I'm going to start with the module first, try that out, and then probably move on to swapping out a used motor because I've got several of them just sitting on a workbench, and I can plug them in real quick. And if that don't work, then I'll move on to the switch. I don't have a spare switch, but a lot of times these switches can be cleaned, contacts cleaned inside there if it is a switch. Maybe not, I'm not sure, but that's going to be my last thing to check. Not saying that's the best way to do it, but with the options I have, as far as having a spare module, hopefully it's the right module, and having spare motors, that's my best options for diagnosing right now. So I'm going to pull this panel off, and then I'll get back with you on when I get to that module, show you what it's about. Well, that's a strikeout on trying the different modules because This is the module out of the truck. It's the earlier style. I couldn't remember what year they changed them. But this is the module out of the later style. I think it's out of the late 80s, mid to late 80s. So anyways, I won't be able to just test modules out. I don't know, I may pop this off, see if there's anything obvious inside there that maybe I could fix real quick. But other than that, I may just plug it back in and then test the motor and go from there. Alright, so strike two. I tested another motor and it just stays on because I can't really test I pulled the control module apart, or the intermittent module apart, whatever you want to call it, and didn't see anything wrong with it. So I went ahead and hooked it all back up, hooked a different motor up to it, to the wiring, grounded it out, and it just stays on all the time. So I'm pretty confident that it's my switch. So I'm going to pull my data here, my instrument bezel, pull that out. You just got all these screws around there. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then there'll be a couple screws holding it in, the wiper switch itself in. I will get to that, and then we'll start trying to see if I can fix that switch, or I might have to get a new one. I think I can go to O'Reilly's possibly and get a new one, but we'll see. I may be able to take this one apart and make it work. Hopefully not mess it up beyond repair. If I have to, I can just go get a regular switch out of one of the other trucks I got. I think I've got another truck with a just a high-low wiper switch, the standard equipment, and just plug in directly to it, and it should work. I've done that before. Actually, that's actually my rock crawler, my 79 rock crawler, is set up that way, because it was originally had the intermittent wipers, but I swapped it out to another Blazer I had that I actually traded off for this truck. Actually, I traded that Blazer off for Squeaky, my race truck. All right, enough rambling. I'm going to pull this bezel out, and we'll see what we got going on with this wiper switch. All right, now I got the bezel off. I got these two screws to pull out, and that'll let the switch come out, and I will pull the switch apart, hopefully without breaking it, and do some testing on it. I pulled the switch out of another truck, and I turned the key on, and look at what we got. Got low and high, or slow and slower, or however you want to look at it. For some reason, I don't know if it's returning to park or not. There, it's parking. Let's see if See, I've never had the windshield washer part work on this. I'm not sure if it was the switch or the pump. I've actually had it work if I manually operate it outside. We'll figure that out later. Now what I'm going to do is see if I can take it apart and clean it up and make it work. We'll just see what happens there. If worst case scenario, just so I have wipers, I can mount this switch in this one's place and just have the regular high-low wipers. I won't have the intermittent, which will be fine. I can live with that. That's where I'm at now. Hopefully this is helping you guys out. If it is, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Alright, so here's the switch. This right here is just the light. You can twist it, pull it out if your light's not working on it. That's how you replace the light. It's the same thing on the other switch. They just a standard high and low switch. This one has two plug-ins there and there. These tabs here I'm going to have to bend back to pull this panel apart, and then we'll see what we got going on in the inside. Instead of setting up a camera to show you me pulling it apart and getting frustrated, I'm just going to cut to what I find. Okay, here's inside the switch. All you got is these contacts. This just pops on the back of it like that. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Wrong way. There we go. Okay, so whenever you move the switch, which is underneath here, there, this slides back and forth. And it just moves contacts between these fingers and these contacts here, which this is connected to your plugins. So depends on where it's at, on what it's making contact with. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this all up, make sure nothing's out of place or out of sorts, put it back together, try it out, see what happens. I don't know. It don't look like anything's fried, so I think a good cleaning will help this thing out, and we'll go from there. All right, just take a note when you're disassembling this. There is a detent ball and spring. You don't want to let those guys go flying because you will spend a lot of time searching for them. Ask me how I know. Unfortunately, I can't take this all the way apart because as you can see in that access hole, there's rivets to take this assembly apart, which is part of the delay part. To take the knob off, it just pries off. So if you're wondering how that comes off, it just pries off. But got it cleaned up. I'm going to put it back together. I've got some dielectric grease on all the contacts. Other than not being able to take the inside of this apart, maybe it might work. If it don't, like I said, I've got that other switch. Another note, don't use brake parts cleaner to clean this out. Actually, if I would have just taken this part off before I started spraying it down, it probably would have been alright. But some good electrical cleaner would be the best because, yeah, I jacked that all up. I'm going to put it back together, put it back in the truck, not just mount it. I'll just hook the wires up, not mount it to the dash, and see if it'll work now. So I wasn't able to get the intermittent wiper switch to work. I am thinking it probably is that module because I didn't see anything inside that switch, even though I kind of boogered it up a little bit as far as that contact or the looks of it. All the contacts look good. There isn't any reason why it should be stuck on. So I think there's something inside that module that's messed up. And I have no way to really test that other than putting a good module on it. But I'll see if I can come up with another module. So for right now, I've just got the standard type windshield wiper switch in there. That I've got low and high, and also hopefully they still work. I got the squirters again. I've never had squirters in this truck, so that's kind of a bonus. I'll take that over the intermittent stuff anyways, because I live on a dirt road and sometimes the windshield gets a little dusty and I need to wash it off, and they park where they're supposed to. So hopefully that'll help somebody out on any issues you might be having with your windshield wipers. Now, this is not a how-to definite, this is what's wrong, how to fix your windshield wipers. This is just me dealing with the problem I've had with mine. There could be other issues you're having with it. It could be the motor, could be the switch, could be the module, it could be, any of those things. You'll just have to kind of go through and figure it out. Hopefully this video showed you a little bit of what to do to maybe figure out what's going on with yours. Mine issue, I'm pretty sure it was the what is that module. So hope that's helped you out. So until next time, y'all keep your square bodies rolling, and we will catch you later.